Hello, my name is Steve Holland. I'm a principal with Madland Specialists, a retail and IT consultancy based in New Hampshire, founded in 1992 by Madeline Kerr. I'm here today to talk to you about one version of the truth as it relates to PLM and talking about the systems, data, people and processes and how we get those all interconnected. I have over 20 years in the retail IT industry, working on a myriad of solutions, PLM, supply chain, ERP, merchandising systems, and I've learned a little bit along the way, some good things, some not so good things, so hopefully I can share some of those those insights with you today. Topics I'd like to cover. First of all, one version of the truth, hype versus reality. I think I first heard that phrase probably going on 10 years ago. I was actually working with a large consultancy, and we were working with one of the leading ERP vendors and putting together some marketing materials, and we started talking about one version of the truth as it related to product information and planning systems, and it's used in the data warehouse and business intelligence space, and it's now being used in PLM. But let's we'll talk about what it is and what it isn't. Then I want to spend a fair bit of time talking about integrating people, processes, data in the PLM world, and that really that kind of brings it home one version of the truth or lack thereof actually with respect to PLM. I want to talk to you a little bit about my view, and I think some other people's view on how IT is changing and how we need to be more responsive to the pressures of the global environment of the business world. And then lastly, I want to share some thoughts on how do we kind of pull this all together and get started in making one version of the truth actually a reality. So I always like to start my presentations off with a kind of an icebreaker, if you will. I just feel fortunate to live in a world with so much disinformation at my fingertips. I thought that was very appropriate and kind of hits home. Is there one version of the truth? And I think the reality of it is there is no silver bullet. There is no true one version of the truth. It's we've gotten close. It's probably worth the effort, but it really depends on your particular organization, your particular PLM solution, and what you're integrating it to. To me, it's as much anything, it's aspirational. I never get caught up in what technology providers and consultancies spin on. Yes, we can get one version of the truth. That's buy our software, you'll have one version of the truth. Buy our consulting services, you'll get there. It's not there, but I think it's still something that we should all aspire for. Certainly, companies that are putting in PLM are getting closer to one version of the truth, and it's but it's an evolutionary process. And I think we'll talk about the integration landscape. We're not there yet, and it's probably an unrealistic goal to get in the truest sense of the word. But I do maintain that, as I said, it's an aspirational goal, and it really is worth taking that journey. And I think the way, and other people kind of use this phrase, crawl before you walk, before you run. And I think it applies to one version of the truth. It applies to PLM integration as much as any topic. But I think if you're going to crawl, walk, and run, and I will talk about this at the end of my presentation, you need to go in with a clear roadmap and defining that roadmap. And I have some ideas and share you how to do that. Okay. So what does one version of truth really mean? And a lot of people, again, have a definition I want to share with you. And I think, again, it relates to your PLM implementation. And it's, quite frankly, something that we all get bogged down with a great deal. Everybody has different terms for different things. And if you have common terminology, whether or not you have